They were kicked to the ground. They're laying under the bed, in the corners of the bathroom, forgotten in the laundromat, boxed up like an old something in the garage. And they thought it was over. Their life was meaningless and they will never be loved again. Where do loved goods find love again? Mercari appeared and is giving them another chance. Greetings and salutations, YouTubeville. This is Anna, aka BOONDOGGLEBLISS, used fashion liquidation consultant. I'm trying to remember it without looking at my notes. How's everyone doing? How are you? I am doing fantastic, and I'm really happy to be making this video today because it's been a really long time and I promised several people and I failed them. This is part 2 of my 3-part Mercari series. The first one I did a while ago. I'm going to include a link down below if you want to see what the heck I talked about in that video. Frankly, I don't remember. I just know it was more of a global, holistic approach and look at Mercari. Whereas today we're going to focus on the practical aspect, on the tactical, tangible items of Mercari. So we're going to dissect the application in detail. We're going to look at all of the screens, everything basically you need to know to be productive and functional within Mercari. Then we're going to cover tips and tricks to be successful selling on Mercari. Well, I'm going to share with you some interesting facts that maybe you did not know when selling on Mercari, the stuff that's like written in really fine print in the user guidelines and best practices and all of that. Just kind of want to make sure our bases are covered. Of course, we're going to list a few items so you can see how very seamless and easy the listing process really is. We're going to cover some kind of outstanding questions that still exist, the unknowns about Mercari. I'm going to share with you some of my wish list items for updates. Kind of, you probably have that too, where for each selling app you're on, you have that list of, man, I wish they could do this, or I wish they could do that. Well, I have that list for Mercari. I'm going to share that with you. And as always, I'm going to sprinkle in reseller nuggets of wisdom here and there, share some laughs, and have a great time. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to use this layout in the upper left-hand corner. I don't know if that's your left or right. I sucked at physics and spatial orientation. There's a blue card with my code on there. If you're new to Mercari, use that code. You get $10, I get $2, and we're happy. Okay? There it is. And then I'm going to be showing you exactly what I'm talking about in the app. And down below, I'm trying something new. It might work, it might not work. I have a need to draw. I forgot my whiteboard that I use for my videos at home. So should I be inclined to draw, I have my little sketch pad. Okay, so here we go. Let's go and look at the Mercari icon. Very well recognizable because it's a little different from others. Red box with blue bubbles falling out of it or in, however you take it. And then as soon as you open up, you automatically will appear on the home screen. You'll notice at the bottom you have your navigation bar. Okay, right there is your navigation bar. And there are 5 sections: home, search, sell, notifications, and me or you, whatever. 5 sections. So let's first look at the home section. Here's my depiction of a home. So on the home screen, at the very top, you have a search bar, which is the same pretty much as the search section. But notice down below, you have all the different categories. You can go look at items by categories. So let's go look at beauty products. Once you click on beauty products, you then get a second submenu, and you can further narrow down by what type of beauty products you want to look for. And then further below that, you have a little fine, I guess it's a filter, and you can further refine your search. Okay, so maybe you only want to look at beauty products that are sold or that have been listed recently or whatever. So you can, you know what I'm talking about. Now going back, I think it's good to look at this if you're new to understand the type of categories that Mercari sells in. So check that out, play around with it, notice the other filters that are available to you. If you go under other, you have the ability at that point to narrow down by brands, sizes, condition, status, sold, for sale, all. Shipping, maybe you want to only look at things that have free shipping, you can do that, and price range. Then one thing to note, Mercari introduced this, and this is one of those things that I'm still looking to fully understand. If you refine your search by newest, obviously self-explanatory, that's all the stuff that were most recently posted in that category. If you click best match, don't know fully exactly how it works. Is it purely word for word best match based on what you entered? So if you entered a red dress, best match will show you everything that has like red dress and all the other characters. Or is there something else? Is there an algorithm slowly being built at Mercari that further refines that, giving some people a leg up over others? So that is outstanding question numero uno. How is best match really determined? Don't know that yet. We'll get back to it. And you'll find very often best match is the default search filter when you're looking for something, not newest, but best match. So be aware of that. Now to the best part, and this is my favorite part of Mercari. They show you things that just sold in the last 10 minutes. So you can see what is hot, what is selling on Mercari in the last 10 minutes. And then further down, you can even refine that filter to see, by skirts. What are the skirts that sold in the last 10 minutes? I love that function. So I love it, love it, love it. And then what you can do is you can actually save that search. So if you search something very often, it's a very particular one by size or whatever. Like for example, I have one for Johnny Was. Johnny Was item in extra small and small, most recently listed. I want to know right away. I want that to be a saved search because I search that all the time. Then, they introduced this little other thing, wondering what to sell. Those are categories that sell most frequently in that price range. So Mercari is kind of giving you a little, hey, if you don't know what to sell in these categories, you'll be successful. Then down below that, you have your My Likes, recently viewed, and then some categories that I most frequently search for selling, brands I've looked at, it'll bring that up. So it's customized based on your preferences and your searching, whatever. Then you have just in. I like this one because I like seeing what's just in, and then and this is a cool part, you can narrow it down by sold. So let's see what just came in and sold instantly. And if you click on the item, you can see how long it was listed for. So it was posted 3 minutes ago, and it sold right there and then. Okay, so what else has sold recently? 9 minutes ago, king bed sheet, assorted Legos. Ooh, what else? Puzzle leggings. Oh, if there are ever Lego leggings, I need to be notified. I grew up on Legos. I love Legos. And if there are Lego leggings, they're mine. So anyway, that is a useful piece of information to have, kind of what the turnaround, kind of speed of certain items selling. It is good to know. It's good to look at prices and know that you have something similar on Poshmark, but you can't really tell when it was originally listed. You can search by most recent listed, filter sold, and see when it sold, but you can't see when it was originally listed. You can just assume it was recently because that's what you sorted it by. But anyway, I like playing around with all these search filters, so it's helpful. And then you can choose category. So let's say women's dresses category, general dresses category, what sold most recently. You can check that out and look at it. How long? 21 minutes. It took 21 minutes to sell. Pretty good. Pretty good. So a little competitive information. Okay, moving on. We talked about the just in. Right below that, you have sellers you may like, and that is decided upon your search profile. Because assuming that you are kind of a buyer, let's look at it from a buyer's lens. It takes your search preferences and what you're searching, because it stores that and gives you recommendations based on the contents of those closets. Let's see. All the other things you're seeing, all the other categories, that's based all on what I've looked, what I've researched, and whatnot. So that is your home screen. Home is, it's almost like a Facebook page, you know? It's like an FB page, like your wall. Let me put that there. Wall. Next up, we have the search. And if you click on that, what you'll see is your most recent searches and your saved searches. So you can see what I was looking at. Outside of that, it's just a search bar. That's that. So let's see. Oops. I'm going to go ahead and skip that because that's pretty basic. Next up, the one you've been waiting for, the camera. Boop, boop, boop. And I like this nipple, boop, on top. Boop, boop, boop. There. I'm going to come back to that actually at the very end. But this is where, if you're going to sell something, this is what you're going to click on. It automatically brings you to a template of a listing, and you're going to fill it out. We'll save that for last. Next up, you have your inbox, your notifications. And let me see if I can replicate that. Boop, 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 boop. There you go. There's an artist inside me all after all. What I like about their notifications is that they're split into 3 sections. First, you got your notifications, which is like everything. The stuff Mercari sends you, little updates if you get a discount on an item you like, blah, blah, blah. It's like everything. Then it splits it up into selling and buying. And I love that. I want to quickly find out if I have questions, inquiries on the stuff I'm selling versus see everything. Because you can get lost. If you have a lot of items in your closet, sifting through all of that, I think Mercari has it down on separating the selling, comments, and the buying. So I really love that. Okay. And so that's your notifications. And here we have an example we can use on something, and that is I've got an offer. So let's see, she made an offer, totally gonna take it, accept. Are you sure you want to accept this offer of $20? Yes, I do. Gonna click yes. And there it is. Quickly check the order status, make sure it's here. Boop, boop, boop. Look at it. $6 shipping. There it is. And then the favorite section of this app, the stuff about you. So let's go and look at that. Okay, I'm drawing. Okay, finally. This is you. You section. It's like a keyhole if you don't, like a little keyhole. Oh yeah, it does have a smiley face. In here is everything else. So you have your profile on top. This is your view of the profile. If you want to see the profile of how buyers see, you're going to click on that little icon at the top, and it takes you to the view from a buyer's perspective. As you can see, they have the option of hiding sold items, which is nice when they're sorting through a closet. It has a lot of stuff. Now, going back to your view, you have the option to edit the profile picture. You can go in and look at your reviews. Reviews are counted and then separated by great, good, and poor. So you can see all your reviews, you can see all your greats, all your goods, and all your poors. Then below that just confirms your your credibility. Your email was confirmed, Facebook, and they did a mobile check, so your cell phone confirmed. Then below that you have your stats on the peeps that are following you and people you're following. I haven't been paying great attention to that, but I am starting to now, because maybe it'll make a difference if you're following a lot of people somewhere down the line, in case they do something with an algorithm. So I want to appear as I'm fully engaged, and so I'm going to start following more people, just FYI. Then you have your balance. If you click on your balance, you can transfer your balance to your bank account, or you can see all the things that have recently sold in your deposit history at the same time, or you can just see deposit history on its own. Balance history, like I said, it's great. You can see everything in one place. Let's go ahead and transfer the money into my bank account so you can see how quickly that can be done. We're going to say transfer balance. It's already going to have your bank account information in there. You're going to indicate how much you want to transfer. It's not assuming everything, so you type it in. In California, I'm not able to purchase things with my balance. It has to first be deposited into my bank account, and then I need to buy from that. So there is a change that went into effect late last year that does not allow you to buy with your balance. You can read more about that, and I'll show you where. I'm going to go ahead and confirm. It's confirmed all of that. Success, and then it tells you exactly the time, the date range in which it will be transferred. They have not updated, I think, this to what it needs to be. So before they did 2 deposits a month, so they were on a regular payday calendar. They had 2 deposit times a month. Now they're going to business day deposit, so next business day. So it's going to be a little more quicker than what that message appears, just so you know, so you don't have a heart attack when you see this. Okay, so that's your transfer. Your coupons. Your coupons are any coupons Mercari gives you, or I think your credits might appear in there as well. So I got few You know, every time someone joins using your code, you get $2. And I think they have to buy something. I don't know if it's just joining or if they have to buy something. So we can look at that later. But you get $2, which you can redeem at the time of a purchase. Right below that is a feature that will come in handy when you're new, when you're seller ready, you have completed the following items. Your profile is completed, and that's 2 tasks, your picture and your description. Verify your contact details. I got 3 of 2. 2 are mandatory. And those are the items I mentioned right here. And then you have list your 5 items. To be seller ready, you at least have to have 5 items. How they're going to use that information, I do not know yet. I was trying to see if this seller ready badge appears for others to see, but I can't find it anywhere, so I'm not sure yet what role that plays, if any, in the grand scheme of things. Now, when you're writing your description, going back to your profile, how do I put this? You can be mean and turn people off from shopping in your closet, or you can be welcoming. That is your option. I've seen some nasty profiles where, and don't get me wrong, I kind of had a variation of that a while ago, and I got frustrated with people, and I was like, no, do not talk to me unless you're a serious buyer. Do not do this, do not do that. If you're gonna write me, do not use this and that and the other. Like, I had all my pet peeves written out, and in the grand scheme of things, probably not the best thing to do, right? Well, you get frustrated sometimes, as everybody does. So now I just have a more kinder approach. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, so we've got that section now. Now let's go on to selling. If you click on selling, you have your items on sale, so all your active items. You have items in progress, and you have your completed items, most recently sold items. So you can go through all of that and see it. My pet peeve about this on sale area is, and I'll show you what happens, and it drives me absolutely nuts, and I expect Billy at Mercari to do something about that. Let's say you're scrolling, and I have like 900 items on here. Let's say you're scrolling, and you finally arrived at the item you want to see. Ooh, let's look at this limited light layered abstract top. Why don't we look at it? Okay, let's just promote it for the heck of it. And I'll talk about that later. Now let's go back and do some more promotions and look at some other items I have in my closet. What did it do? It went back to the very top of all my stuff. So imagine if you scrolled through like hundreds of items and you're working at the bottom of your list. If you click on something, when you go back, it takes you right back to the top. That is unacceptable. Poshmark does it too. Drives me nuts. Can't this be fixed? Seriously, please, Mercari. Just do it. So that's what I gotta say about that. What else is in here? That's right. I wanted to show you this feature for when you go on vacation and you don't want to have accidental purchases because you don't want to upset some people and get bad reviews, blah, blah, blah. You can deactivate all your items. That is essentially putting your closet on vacation mode. And when people go into your closet, they're not going to see anything that's available to buy. Just like at Poshmark, when you go into Poshmark, put your closet on vacation, same feature. It's fantastic. I love it. I'm saying that and I'm pointing it out because someone said, Mercari doesn't have a vacation mode. They have the activation mode, which is same kind of thing, okay? So now, also the other thing I wanted to mention, you can individually put items in this deactivation mode. So let's say you have a potential purchase on eBay, Poshmark, and you have items cross-posted, cross-listed. You don't want anyone to buy anything on here. You can deactivate and kind of mute that listing. And this is why I start listing my items on Mercari first, Poshmark second, and then sometimes it goes to eBay. Obviously, some things go directly to eBay, but this is why. If an item sells on Poshmark and that item gets then returned or the sale doesn't go through, I need a place to go to quickly grab the description and the pictures and repost that item. Okay, I can do that with Mercari. I can't do that on Poshmark. I can't deactivate an item and have it kind of sitting there waiting for me to want it again. I don't have that. On Mercari, I have that. So I love this feature. And maybe there are some items, let's say I want to focus on selling some summer clothes. So I'm going to go back through my store and deactivate all my winter stuff. And it's just going to sit there and wait there until I want to activate it again in late summer, early fall. So you can edit your item within this section as well. And basically, it's like you're managing your entire store, your closet in this section. Then the same exact thing happens in the buying category. So anything that you have in progress that you bought and you're awaiting the shipment to be received will appear here, and then you can see all your completed items in here. Okay. Then your likes. Naturally self-explanatory. Here are all your likes. Then the Help Center. The Help Center, I believe, is pretty robust in how they have it set up. It's very informative. The way it works is it shows your customer support stuff here in the middle, as you can see that. So anytime you send a message to Mercari and they respond, you will have the conversation thread there. Then you have your most frequently asked questions, and everything is really easily explained. Then I have the category for buyers, for sellers, and account information. I love that. Then they have a getting started, rules and manners. In rules and manners, you have your Mercari Marketplace guidelines, which kind of house everything, your prohibited items, and your prohibited conduct. So FYI, Mercari does frown on kind of harassment, slander, all of that negative stuff. And they must, recently I noticed, they must have a filter that works, because when a person sends you a message that has certain words, that Mercari pulls it right back. Because very often, like, I got into it with somebody and I was, showering them with sugar and sweetness, and then they would respond and instantly their message would disappear and say, Mercari, like, remove this message. So I know they were being little nasty bugs and being mean or something. So I really like how they have that set up, Make sure that you go through the prohibited items and prohibited conduct. I do want to highlight, I took little notes of what I wanted to share with you. Naturally, I'm not going to read the entire thing while we're chatting and hanging out here right now, but wanted to let you know, and here's like your Mercari need to know information, okay? Drop shipping is not allowed. Sorry, drop shippers, it's not allowed. For those that don't know what drop shipping is, in the context of this conversation, is basically selling something that you're not in possession of that will be fulfilled by someone else. Example, Amazon. And I did that one time, and then after researching it more, I took it off. I found something on Amazon, and then you have the free shipping, right? I found something on Amazon for like $9.99, and I did sell it for $19, and I get free shipping. So anytime someone bought something, I would buy it on Amazon, and it was sent directly to the customer. You're not allowed to do that. No, I'm not going to read that on there. Never mind. Next, no naughty stuff. All right. No homemade remedies, creams, lotions, makeup, any type of cosmetics. So that's not allowed. That's what Etsy is for, and their terms of agreement cover the limits of liability from that perspective, and they have the service agreements that, you know, protect you and them from harm should it arise from something that you created. So leave that stuff for Etsy. But then again, if you have homemade, let's say you knitted a sweater or whatever, that stuff is allowed. No swapping and trading. Poshmark, you can trade on Poshmark on Mercari. That is frowned upon. Returns outside of Mercari, do not get into any type of communication and returns that does not take advantage of the Mercari system. Don't do stuff outside of that, because at that point you're not protected by anything. So they're not only looking out for the buyer, but also the seller, who will have no grounds. If you get screwed up in some way, Mercari won't be there to help you protect you. You're now outside of the terms of the agreement. No threat, slander, I already talked about that. And the one thing you should know, which is maybe something that will rub some people the wrong way, but no excessive reposting of the same item. And it's kind of counterintuitive, because Mercari works in such a way that, you know, newest items are listed first. So if you want to sell something, it's kind of natural that what you would do is kind of repost it. So I don't know the definition of excessive. That is the next question I have for Billy at Mercari. What is the definition of excessive? Is it as little as reposting the same thing 5 times a day? Is that excessive? 5 times an hour? I mean, I don't want to repost something that I'm really trying to sell 3 times and get my little "you're bad" notice from Mercari. So we'll clarify that more as we experience more things or get answers from Billy. Okay. Also, at the bottom of the help center, you have the contact us option, which is fantastic. You can contact them in regards to your account. Obviously, they're going to try to pre-screen your questions by possibly showing the information that you're looking for up front. Should that not be available, you can contact them anyway. I like that I can select a specific listing that I have questions on, and you can ask questions about your purchases and your direct deposit. Awesome. And then at the very bottom, you have a About Mercari. And I wanted to guide you to this section, because if you have recommendation on an app, on the app, or something is not working, or you're experiencing something that totally deals with the mechanics of the application, the most effective way to give them that feedback is not through Contact Us, but through feedback. So this is the feedback that goes directly to the people that work on this matter, versus the other section is handled by customer service related personnel. Okay? Bam, bada, bam. And obviously, as with anything, you can search for help here. Let's say we're looking for shipping. I have a question about shipping. Shipping tips. Where does Mercari ship to? I shipped the wrong item, blah, blah, blah. So we've covered the home, the search. We're going to get to the camera, the listing, the notifications, and the me section. So let's get to the best part, and that's the listing. All right, are you ready? let's create a listing. So we're going to click on sell. You can save drafts after you save a picture and at least a title. At that point, you can save it and come back to it later, which is fantastic. Poshmark does not have that. So let me first go through all of the categories and then we'll do one, okay? So you have 4 pictures that you can post, which makes it difficult. My biggest request is to please have 6 or 8. I feel I can do pretty good with 6. 8 to me is ideal, and that's what Poshmark has. And I take pictures, and like I always take 8 pictures now. It's just a thing. So I have to do a lot of collages, especially if I have to disclose flaws or if I'm modeling. So Mercari actually now has a feature for the buyer to ask for additional pictures. Oops. So let me go look at something. We have this shirt here. You scroll through and you're like, ah, that wasn't enough pictures. I want to see more. You can ask for more photos. I don't know what that looks like when it comes back to you, and I don't want to bother someone. So I don't know if it's more pictures that they actually replace these pictures with new ones, or you get to just see them by yourself. I have no idea, but it is there. So 4 pictures. Oh yeah, I was going to say I'm going to go through that all first. 4 pictures, title, description, category, condition, shipping options, price, and post. That's it. So if you're an eBayer coming to this, obviously this is like, whoa, you know, you're going to have anxiety that you're not giving enough information because it's so minimal, right? And then if you've never sold before and you're looking at this and you're like, oh, I thought it was easy. I just thought I'd just take a picture and sell it. I think this is a really good, happy place, okay? Like I said, it's 8 required fields, and then we have 2 optional. Brand is optional. Obviously increases your likelihood of being discovered if you enter the brand, but just so you know, if you don't have the brand, that's okay. You don't have to make anything up. You can just not list it with a brand. So let's do one. I have a Lucky Brand skirt that is calling my name to be listed. It said, pick me, I want a new owner, pick me. So here we go. Picture 1, and this is kind of my order. You can do whatever you want, but I take front, back, brand, and if there's any additional like information, like normally it's the brand tag and fabric. Very often I do a collage of brand tag, fabric tag, front and back, and then a model. That's my standard MO for 4 pictures. But I don't have a model for this, do I? Yeah, I do. I just don't feel like doing much more for it because it's a low-cost item. If it was a higher end, I will take more time making more collages to display every single view of the items. So I'm going to use these 4 pictures. Now, biggest flaw right now, you do not have the ability to move these pictures around. Before, you were able to move them around and edit them. They had a very robust editing option. Now they do not. I generally start with a description, and as you guys know, I dictate. And I'll probably just go ahead and dictate just so you guys can see it. I know some people don't use that feature. Lucky Brand skirt, new line, tan, comma, cargo style, comma, frayed, trim, comma, pockets, comma, zipper, new line, size 2, new line. Oh, okay, it fixed it. I don't normally, it's not this bad. that size 2. Then I have the measurements, so I'm going to quickly go and look at them. Normally I grab them and I stick them in my mind before I start listing, but let's see, it's 13.5 long and 16-inch waist. So once I grab that, then I actually have a template I created for that, for the listing. I'm going to go into the fashion folder. And what I do is I have this template, I cut it, paste it, I remove what I don't need from it. Okay. Go in, Mercari, and paste. So size. If the item has any flaws, I will obviously disclose it. This one is in excellent use condition, so that's already there. I removed the measurements I don't have. This was previously I was doing a blazer, so that's why you see shoulders and stuff. So, okay, length, it was 13.5 inches. Then shoulder, no, there's no shoulder. Waist. What was waist? 16. Okay, and then the rest is already in there. And why do I write Boondoggle-Bliss at the very bottom? You might be thinking, self-promoter, writing your own name in the description. No, I do that so that when people are looking for my stuff and they can't find me as a seller, because remember, there's none of that find seller functionality. They can type in Boondoggle-Bliss into the search option where the search section is, and voila, they'll find me. And then I'll show you another neat trick for when you are cross-posting, how to quickly find your listing, okay? Title. So Lucky Brand, it's a tan cotton mini skirt. Now, I just remembered the word distressed, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in there because it is somewhat distressed. Well, I think that's going to do it. Don't you think? And then what I do is I take the title and I dump it in there as the first one. And that's once again from a SEO perspective, repetition is key. And then when I am taking that description and sending it over to Poshmark, I have everything contained in one, so I don't have to go back and forth. My title, my description, it's all there. I cut and paste one time, and I don't have to go back to this listing. Tags are optional. Tags, I think it's just an extra reminder to put some additional descriptive words so your items are searchable. I don't very often use that. Maybe I should, but as long as you have the right words in there, I think you're good. I could be wrong. Then we have category, and category is a conditional section, because depending on what category you select, it'll prompt what other submenus it'll create. So the cool thing about Mercari is that it suggests the category. So based on what you wrote in your description and your title, that's why it's good to do all of that first, it'll not only suggest the category, it'll suggest the brand. Awesome. So it is a mini skirt brand, Lucky Brand, easy as pie, size 2, good, and so that goes pretty quick. Then we have the shipping options. So you, first of all, you have the ability to ship it on your own. In that situation, you just go on to USPS.com, stamps.com, PayPal, whatever, create your shipping label, and then paste the tracking number in there. That's how you do it. For the most part, especially now that they've introduced the improved shipping segmentation, weight segmentation, I've solely been using just the Mercari option. You have USPS or FedEx, and then it segments it by weight. And this is the best part. So 0 through 1 pound is $4 first class. 1 to 3 pounds is $7 priority. Then you have 3 to 10 pounds is $9. And 10 through 20 pounds, it's only $15. $15. So all the eBay people, they will probably be screaming at this when you see it. They will rejoice and be excited. Obviously, this is not the most perfect pricing segmentation. Then you have the option of FedEx. I do not recommend FedEx. FedEx takes too long. I've had bad experiences, and from a buyer perspective, if they want FedEx, they have the option of selecting it at the time of checking out. So I'll show you later what that looks like. And it works in reverse. I recently purchased something. The seller selected FedEx because the price was cheaper. However, I wanted it quicker, and I trust USPS more, even with all its faults and its own issues. I trust USPS more. It's the lesser of two evils. And I was able to select that. And I think it's possible if you have a seller that's not very, how do I say this kindly and gently, not very, doesn't pay attention. If they are selling everything through FedEx and you ask for USPS, there's a risk of them taking the USPS label and sticking it on FedEx packaging, or sending it to FedEx and it's USPS. So when you are going to change companies, you might want to pop the seller a note just in case, to be extra cautious. I know eventually it'll get to you, but if you're in the hurry, be aware. Okay, so prepaid label, blah, blah, blah. In this situation, I'm going to make the buyer do it. It's a $4 charge. Save. Then I'm going to set the price. So what Mercari does is it has a suggested price category. I wish I knew the exact parameters for that suggested price. So for this skirt, I'm going to put it at 18 and see what happens. It gives me room to do a price decrease, and if I wanted to sell it right away, do a quick flip, I'm gonna go below that suggested price. I would price it at like $11 or $10. But I am not a quick flipper. I don't mind with stuff sitting for a little bit, so I'm putting it at $18. And I am going to post success. My item is now posted. Let's look at it from a buyer's perspective. Click in the upper right hand corner. Here it is. There's my skirt. $18. Little cute little skirt. Boop, boop. Oh, what is this little doodad? What does that do? Oh yeah, you can copy it, tweet it, send it, do whatever you want with it. So this is what it looks like from a buyer's perspective. Let's look at this listing. We have the pictures. We have the title, when it was posted, the price, the condition, the size, shipping, brand, category, and the description. Then you can see the seller reviews, information about the seller, and down below you have similar items. So what I hope when I kind of look at the inventory of items that are popping up, I hope that my item is, competitive. I could go to $22 and do free shipping. That's an option. What happens, the reason why I don't like it is because then they submit offers that are lower, and I think the buyer forgets that we're paying for shipping. So that is how you list on Mercari. And then if you want to edit, obviously you go into your thing, blah, 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 press edit, bop, 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 and update. Whoop, there it is. Okay, and now some tips for success on Mercari. Now remember, the app is not perfect. It has many desirable features, but it also lacks in many ways. I wish we could like take the best of Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, Depop, Vinted, and just like created one perfect app. Don't think that day will will ever happen unless we as resellers like make our own like reseller app built by resellers, you know. But you got to work with what you got and make recommendations on what you want. And with that said, here are some quick tips for success on Mercari. The key to being successful is really understanding the buying experience of Mercari. So first thing first, when you download the app, go and buy something. Understand what the buyer sees, experiences, how they communicate with you, what it looks like to make an offer so that you can be a better seller. So many people fail to do that. It's mind-boggling. You have to buy first, okay? For one, this is completely repetitive. I already said this before. Make sure you put your closet name somewhere in your description of at least one of your listings so people can find you. Be able to be found. Also, along with that, please be mindful of how difficult it is to find an item in your closet if you have a lot of things and you sold something on Poshmark and you quickly want to go on Mercari and find it. Yeah, you can do, I did Boondoggleblis 3/7, like, so it was March 7th, 3/7/18, it was my first listing, so 1. And then you can do, you know, some type of number that will make sense to you that can be searchable that way, and you can enter that into the eBay listing that you're doing, into the Poshmark that you're doing. So that tells you, that little thing there alone tells you it's cross-posted, and here's how you can quickly find it. So that's that. Use collages if you can't fit a lot of things in that you need to have in. Don't jip your listing. Let's see. So in this one, I wanted to showcase not only the jeans modeled and a stock photo of it modeled, but I also wanted to show the front and back. Then I wanted to show the fabric content and the style name, and then the butt. You know, you gotta show the butt. Don't be afraid of using collages and getting as much information as you can in there. Having a nicely presented item will have a bigger likelihood of it being attractive to others. Now, this is one of the best features of Mercari that I wish Poshmark would have, is that the communication on any given item in your closet occurs privately. So, actually, let me go to someone else's item and show you. No, I am not thinking at all. Where am I going? There we are. LuLaRoe Perfect Tee. Let's say I want to get this one. I have the ability to make an offer, buy now, ask for more detail, which opens up the communication between you and the buyer, and same feature here, message seller, opens up that communication between you and the buyer. So, and then they have some pre-canned kind of questions that many people might ask or ask frequently. That communication is private. It no longer appears as a kind of a message board below the item like it did on Poshmark. So good job, Mercari. That is fantastic. fantastic change. I don't want anyone's comments saying, I saw that over there for $20 cheaper, and now it's like connected to your freaking listing, you get it deleted and relisted, blah, blah. Love it. Okay. Search through the sold listings once in a while. Now that Mercari made it so easy for you, you don't have to select all the filters. You can actually just go and see what's been selling, browse. Be aware of what's moving, what's not moving, understand who's buying, what they're buying. That will give you a much better appreciation of what is best suited for Mercari. Next up, customer service. Be kind. I have this perception, and I could be totally wrong, that Mercari, just like Poshmark, is very millennial oriented. A lot of young people and young people who lack communication skills, okay? So they may be very abrupt when communicating with you and just being short with lots of exclamation marks and just rude, and don't let that get to you. A sale is a sale, profit is a profit. If they have issues with communication style, that's their problem. I'm not going to make it my problem. I'm still going to sell my items. So shower them with kindness, be sweet. Sugar is better than vinegar. So make a sale or don't make a sale, and don't waste too much time trying to fix the world of poor communication skills among the members of this world. Next one, provide measurements. Okay, so here's the deal. If you don't provide measurements and you're like, oh, if they want it, they'll just ask me. This is what's going to happen. Let's say half the time they will actually ask you, but the other half, those people are just going to go past your item and move on. Okay, so you have these half of the people that are interested in your item will go and ask for measurements. Then out of that half will be patient enough to wait around and care if you respond. The other half, they're just going to move on and go and buy something else because maybe you haven't responded for a while. They just, out of sight, out of mind, you lost the sale. So you lost the sale with this group, you lost the sale with this group, and then you have this little group here that asked and continues to wait, and then the likelihood of you responding, let's say half of the time you respond, half you don't, then you've just now lost another segment. I mean, you keep chipping away as to the potential of actually making a sale by just doing it. So spend the extra 30 seconds of measuring it, and have your phone on dictation. Put the phone next to you, and as you're dictating your listing, do the measurements, and you're killing two birds with one stone at the same time. Okay, give measurements. This is a universal one, but clear photos, obviously. I'm not going to go too much into what makes a perfect Mercari photo because it's universal. Whatever makes a great photo on eBay, on Poshmark, makes a great photo on Mercari. Clear, clean. Don't put it on the floor with stuff on it, in the bathroom, and just or your wrinkled bed cover. Hang the freaking piece of clothing, stick a nail into a wall, hang that on the wall, and ba-bam, you have an awesome picture. Let's see, what else? Use the marketing feature that it has available. And right now the only one is promote, which you can promote 5 times a day. So use that wisely. And what that will do is obviously send a notification to the people that liked the item. Was it? Yeah, that liked the item. Don't do it to people that, don't do it to ones that don't have any hearts. So if I'm going to promote, I'm not going to waste 1 of 5 of my promotion tokens on something that has no hearts. I'm going to go find stuff that has a lot of likes. Let's say this one here. I have my Victoria's Secret pink sweater dress. It has 6 likes. I'm going to promote it. So drop price, and we will tell people who liked your item. An item moves up in search results. Ding, 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 ding. So then I hit promote, and they're spreading the word. You can do that 5 times a day. So save them for those ones. For the other ones, if you don't have a lot of likes, or I'm sorry, if you don't have any likes, you have the option of just keeping it there, reducing the price, and then it'll be more searchable if people are looking for Banana Republic skirts under $20, and now you're going to be in that consideration set. Or you can delete that and repost, and that I recommend is a better thing to do if you have more urgency on a quicker sale. That's once again, it's something universal, it's for everyone. Use social media to guide people to your store. So make sure on Instagram people know you're a Mercari seller. So when you create some cute pictures or have some great sales going on Mercari, advertise on Instagram. If you have a Facebook page, you're on Facebook. Pinterest advertising is really hot. There's so many people on Pinterest guiding people to your closet from Pinterest is also a very intelligent thing to do. Obviously, do what you can handle, one thing at a time, but I highly, highly recommend that, especially because Mercari, you're able to offer better pricing because they're only taking 10%, and I have such wonderful shipping options. So the other way I use Mercari is to liquidate my unsold inventory or inventory I just don't feel like selling anymore because of that amazing shipping price. I love creating big bundles and selling them, and they sell out so fast, and you can quickly make a lot of money with stuff that's been just laying there. Because just because you don't like it doesn't mean someone else will not like it. So on the side here, you can see when I went through my purge and I cleaned stuff out, I was just selling all these bundles and people were buying them. And then I had another purge there. Yeah, but that was the biggest one, the one I first showed you guys. I made some money then. It was awesome. Now I want to go over my Mercari wish list. This is Mercari. If you ever watch this, I implore you to look into the potential of these changes. I think you'll make not only me happy, but others. So let's get going. Number 1, I want some seller reporting capabilities. I want to be able to see how many listings I have active. At this time, I have no idea how many listings I have active on Mercari, and in total, how many have sold, unless I do a manual count, which is not acceptable. So I kind of want to have some statistics on my closet and be able to filter within my closet, like how many anthropology items do I have, or just be able to go in there and out of my 900 and something items, narrow in and hone in on maybe just the free people items because I want to run a sale on free people, whatever. I have no capabilities to manage my closet at all. So that is my ask number 1. Ask number 2, fix the photo deal. I need to be able to rotate the pictures within the 4 that you allow us to do and bring back the functionality that we used to have of editing the photos. I loved it. You need to bring it back. So now it's fix photo number 2. 3, fix the scrolling. For God's sakes, fix the scrolling. I can't, for the life of me, deal with going through, like for example, if I sold 3 things on Poshmark the other day and I had to go in here and scroll through and look for them and they were all like together close to each other. I found it, I deleted it, and then I went back in, they were older, it brought me all the way back to the top. And I'm like, seriously, I have to go through this again and look, it was driving me nuts. And I don't have the search functionality to search within my closet to find that item. No, I don't. So make it easy for us sellers, please. Next up, This is a feature enhancement, not actually a fix, but allow us to, in addition to photo or in replace of a photo, post a video. So Debop, I think, has that, or Vinted, one of them. And I really love the concept of being able to just, basically do a quick 30-second video on your product, show everything, boom, post it. I think that's fantastic. I think that's the future, really, is to kind of video share your products. Bundles allow my buyers to buy a bundle without having me to create the bundle for them. Have basically introduced the cart, the shopping cart. And I know that's kind of tricky because then you have to really focus on highlighting the seller and not just all the items. But I think it behooves you to create that. Then, last but not least, my request is for just a little bit more transparency. And what I mean by that is not for us to have insight into your algorithm and all your proprietary information, but more insight as to what we can do as sellers to be more successful, more insight as to how can we move up in search without giving us the specific formulas, but what activities and tactics can we perform so that we can sell better on Mercari. Naturally, it's not just all about price. Obviously, it has a lot to do with product, but then how do I compete amongst all these other people who are providing great products at reasonable prices? I want to be in a position to read some information once in a while released from a Mercari team. I just want to see that Mercari is vested in our success by giving us that level of support. So I greatly appreciated, whether it's a blog, a video, just something to help us people out, because I feel so helpless once in a while. I want to have a place to go to read about all the things, even if it's hard. I want to know all the things I can do to be more successful. So those are my requests for Mercari. Now I'm going to quickly, because I'm running out of time, show you that the website now, as of I don't know, it just happened recently, because someone was complaining on Facebook that Mercari needs to be a desktop app because they only work on their desktop because of eBay, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, it's a web app, it's a mobile app. And then come to find out, there is an option to sell on the desktop. So if you go onto Mercari and log in, press the sell button, and here you go. The same exact categories and fields that appear on the app appear here. I know there's a difference in the categories. There's more segmentation that's available on the mobile app, so it's not exact, but everything else looks pretty much the same stuff. So all you eBay people, rejoice. Mercari's there. So everyone, that's it. That's all I've got for you for this one. So this is part 2 of a 3-part series on Mercari. I'm planning to get more content to share with you in the next one. I don't know when the next one will be. That'll be determined on the speed of which I can get my questions answered and additional information available. So leave any and all questions on Mercari down below. I'll make sure to cover them in the 3rd video. And that's that. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe. Press the like button to show me that you like this type of content and you would like more. Thank you very much. Greetings and salutations. Love you very much. Bye.